Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Sun.
The Rays' September stretch run is in full swing, with Tampa Bay winning 11 of their last 14 games to move to a season-best 16 games over 500. Tonight, Tampa Bay begins its final road trip of the season, deep in the heart of Texas, as Tyler Glasnow takes the hill against Adrian Beltre and the Rangers. Monday Night Baseball from Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. The Rays set out on their final road trip of the season on the heels of a sterling 7-2 homestand. They visit the Rangers for Game 1 of a 3-game series. And a pleasant evening to you all. Thanks for tuning in to Fox Sports Sun for another night of Rays baseball. Sitting in for Dwayne Stats, I'm Rich Hollenberg alongside Brian Anderson. And this is a Rays offense, BA, that is #1 in all of baseball in the month of September so far. Seems like everyone has laced up their hitting shoes, none more so than Kevin Kiermaier.
Oh, Kevin Kiermaier, he's been swinging the bat well for the last couple of weeks for these Tampa Bay Rays, and I'll tell you something, we're going to have some fun with numbers, Rich, when you look at what he's been able to do, because in the month of September, the average at 425, how about 8 extra base hits, 9 driven in, 10 runs scored, and all of that in 11 games.
I see what you did there.
That's exactly right. And how about the extra base hits? 3 home runs, 3 triples, and he's using the whole field. Obviously seeing the ball well right now and playing and hitting with a lot of confidence. On the other side, I mean, Adrian Beltre, this is a staple. When we talk about the Texas Rangers, you're going to bring this guy up. 21st season in Major League Baseball, continuing to get it done at a high level here. 13 games in September, the average over 300. 5 homers. He only has 12 homers on the season. 5 have come here in the first couple of weeks of September, so he obviously is red hot.
The veteran Beltre and all the Rangers in the lineup tonight, for that matter. We'll be seeing Tyler Glasnow for the first time this season. Glasnow in his first 8 starts with Tampa Bay, certainly flashing some electric stuff.
Listen, and a great bounce-back start his last time out. You know, he had that disastrous outing against the Toronto Blue Jays where he didn't get out of the first inning, gave up 7 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning. The big reason why, secondary pitches could not command him, and at that point, the Toronto lineup really discounted those pitches and just sat on the fastball, had a lot of success with it. Well, guess what? We said look for that in his next outing against the Indians. Well, the slider, the curveball, they were good early. You force those hitters to account for them on top of the fastball that's going to get up around 100 miles an hour. You can put together outings like that each and every time, and Glasnow will look to build on that here tonight.
Brian Anderson already counted up for us. We are counting down to first pitch from Texas. Glasnow looking for win #1 in his brief career with the Rays as they look to start this final road trip of 2018 on a winning note. 3 minutes and change until the Rays and the Rangers renew acquaintances on Fox Sports Sun. A balmy 91 degrees outside Arlington, Texas for Game 1 of the Rays and Rangers from Globe Life Park. The final time we'll see the Rangers this year. The first time we saw them was all the way back April 16th through 18th, just 16 games into the season. Today's lineup for the Rays, presented by your Southern Ford dealers, and Malik Smith will be leading off. He's 8th in the American League in batting. Tommy Pham back in the lineup, batting 2nd. And then you've got Ji-Man Choi, Joey Wendell, Brandon Lau, all left-handers, followed by Willie Adames, Kevin Kiermaier, Jake Bowers, and Nick Schufo will do the catching and bat night.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Texas Rangers is going to be right-hander Adrian Sampson. He spent the season, 26 years old, spent the season at Round Rock AAA, was called up, had a relief appearance, and then finally got his first big league start, or first start this season, and that was at the Angels on Tuesday. He went 5 innings, gave up just 1 earned run, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, not overpowering, fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. Take a look at the defense and see how it's going to line up behind him here tonight. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, we've got Willie Calhoun, Drew Robinson, and Nomar Mazara. Across that infield, third to first, Adrian Beltre, Elvis Andrus, Rubned Odor, and Ronald Guzman, with Isaiah Kiner Falefa behind the plate.
Kiner Falefa stepping behind the plate. Back in June for the first time, he's played just about every infield position, second, short, and third. And just like the good soldier that he is, apparently, from talking to people in the Rangers organization, they said they offered him an opportunity to catch. He said, anything you need me to do, I'll do it.
What a great story. What a great story and a great opportunity taken advantage of. I mean, think about how valuable and versatile you make yourself.
Second pitch in, Malik Smith grounds it up the middle, fielded by Andrews, and a throw wide of first base, and Malik Smith is on and will take second.
Boy, another quick start for the Rays. The ball not hit that hard, and it forces Andrus to have to move to his left. Trouble getting it out of the glove, and that's when you knew that Malik's had a chance to beat it. Gets there in plenty of time, but right there, just a little bit of trouble getting it out of the glove. It forces a short arm throw, and the Rays already in business.
So rule that in E6, and Smith will advance to second, and that'll bring up Tommy Pham, hitting .375 in his last 18. And speaking of 18, he's riding an 18-game on-base streak. And he looks at strike 1 from Sampson.
That fastball at 91, averages about 91.5.
This is just the second game in his career playing inside Globe Life Park for Tommy Pham. As a matter of fact, 18 combined games played for 1 through 9 in this Rays lineup tonight. Not a lot of experience here with all the rookies who are playing tonight.
Well, and we talked about it in the pregame show. The Rays are starting rookies at every infield position, including catcher.
Is that why you did the counting in the beginning?
No, I just like the 8, 9, 10 in 11 games. And if we wanted to get slightly negative, we could have gone 7, because that's how many times that Kiermaier has struck out in September. But there was a lot of options there.
You handled them all with aplomb.
It's fun when you find stuff like that.
Pham grounds it to third. Beltre charges. Flip throw over to first. Gets Pham as Malik Smith will advance.
I think they're going to say foul ball.
And they did call it a foul.
Yeah. And you know what? Here's the thing. Adrian Beltre, being the veteran that he is, 21st big league season, you make the play. If they want to call it foul, let them make the call, but you go in and make the play. And that ball, yeah, that's going to end up being a foul ball.
Close. Among the myriad of accolades, a 5-time Gold Glove winner. A couple times won the Platinum Glove at third base. You better believe right as soon as he becomes eligible, once he retires, and he hasn't announced anything yet, Adrian Beltre is getting that call to Cooperstown. We'll have more on him later in the telecast.
Well, I think that you would love to see him get to 500 home runs. He's at 474 right now, needs another 26, has hit 5 here in September. You'd love to see him get to that nice round number, but regardless, you're right, he's going in.
Pham makes the most of his second opportunity and lines a single up the middle, and that will plate runners at first and third with the number 3 hitter coming up, Ji-Man Choi.
Boy, how about Tommy Pham? I mean, really just playing pepper into center field. Just an inside-out swing, doesn't hit the ball that hard, but look how he just kind of pops it in there, drops it in. When the Rays right off the plane
right at it again.
They've made a lot of hay in the first inning during this scorching hot summer for the Rays offense. And one of the scorching hot bats has been the designated hitter, Ji-Man Choi. 3 home runs in his last 8 games, hitting .268 on the season. First pitch to Choi in the dirt for ball 1.
Well, as we said already, Adrian Sampson, not an overpowering starting pitcher. So those guys, when they come out, they had better be dialed in with their command early, because if they're trying to settle themselves into the game, the Rays offense will not allow that. And we see that already here with runners at first and third and nobody out.
The 1-0 on the way from Sampson. And that one's high and away for ball 2. Rays come in 82 and 66, 16 games over 500, still technically alive in the chase for that second wild card spot, 7 games behind Oakland. Any combination of a Rays loss and an Oakland win times 7 would eliminate Tampa Bay from playoff contention. Texas at 64 and 85 and 32 and 43 here at Gold Life Park.
And Oakland off tonight. They've got 2 off days where the Rays play every day. So, you know, you win on those days, obviously you're gonna Razors 6 back in the loss column, 7 total. But you can make up that half game here tonight.
The 2-0, and that's going to be a base hit for Choi. RBI single for Ji-Man Choi, and just like that, with nobody out, the Rays strike first.
Well, this team just does not wait around. Extremely focused. And when these games start, these guys are having a lot of fun. They still feel like they are very relevant, that they are not a long shot. They are very relevant in the race, and it's all about winning each and every night, and these guys bring it.
Ji-Man Choi's 25th RBI in his short stint so far with Tampa Bay. The cleanup hitter tonight, another lefty, and that's Joey Wendell. There are 7 left-handed bats that Kevin Cash is marching out tonight against the right-hander, Adrian Sampson. Wendell behind the count, 0-1. A .292 batting average for Wendell. That's second among all American League rookies. Wendell grounds it to first. Over to second to get the force. Tommy Pham will advance to third as Wendell reaches on a fielder's choice. So that brings up another left-hander and another rookie, Brandon Lau, hitting .247 on the season. 5 homers, 19 RBIs. But ever since that dreadful 0-19 start to his major league career, BA, he's hitting .314 in the games after that.
You know, I'm impressed with the fact that he didn't allow that to get himself down. You know, you get a lot of guys coming up to the big leagues that start off their big league career in a stretch like that, and it buries them. And he's just kept putting the work in, kept hitting the ball hard, finally started to find some holes. He had that game in New York where he had 2 hits, drove in his first run, got his first hit there, and boy, since then he has become a weapon, much like everybody else in this lineup.
And he's ahead in the count early, 1-0. Swings at that one off speed, 86, and it locked him up a bit inside. What do you like about Brandon Lau's swing?
I like how simple it is. You know, he stands there, he's got his face right out there. He's got 2 eyes on the pitcher. He keeps his hands low, close to the body. You know, we talked about that, Orestes, in the pregame show about Willie Adames lowering his hands a little bit, and he turns it loose. This kid can hit a ball a long way. I mean, those home runs that we saw start to pile up in, you know, the minor leagues, you thought, well, I mean, interesting. And then you see some of the balls that he's able to hit, and he's hit a home run to, you know, left field, straightaway center was his first home run. Obviously, he's got pull power. Pretty impressive strength at the plate.
Sampson throws over to first baseman Ronald Guzman. One of 3 Rangers rookies in the lineup for tonight. Lau with 9 extra base hits in September. Only Ronald Acuna Jr. and Shohei Ohtani have more as a rookie. And it's going to be a hitter's count for Brandon Lau. And Willie Adames waits on deck. Just one away, already a 1-0 Rays lead, and a 3-1 count to Brandon Lowe. Swung on and missed, strike 2, so the count goes full to Lowe. Adrian Sampson rather, interestingly enough, came up through the Pirates organization and spent some time in the minor league farm system with Tyler Glasnow. Played some fall ball together. Talked to Tyler before the game, and he said they weren't best friends, but they certainly were teammates. And as the baseball business would have it, they both end up on different teams and on the same field tonight. Going to be a 3-2 to Brandon Lowe. Lowe up the middle, nice play by Andrews, flips it over to Odor, and they turn a pretty inning-ending double play to get out of a jam. The Rays strike first with 1 run, and the Rays might be wanting to look at that last play.
Well, let's see if it gets there in time. It did.
Everybody's walking off the field, but slowly.
You know, Kevin Cash still has his head turned around, and he said, we're good.
And Tyler Glasnow will walk out to the mound and throw his first pitches of the night. Rays up 1-0 going to the bottom of the first. For the offense, and now the Texas offense gets their first look at Tyler Glasnow. Shin-Soo Choo leading off, followed by Odor, Andrews, Mazzara, Beltre, Calhoun, Guzman, and Kiner Falefa and Drew Robertson will do the catching and bat ninth. And look out for Shin-Soo Choo. Had 2 home runs in the series at Tropicana Field earlier in April, and he is one of the best at going big fly from the leadoff spot. 21 home runs on the year, primarily from that leadoff spot.
Always been a pretty good average guy, good on base guy. Not a burner by any stretch on the base paths, but the good on base percentage is what allows him to hit in the leadoff spot. Then you add that power, it's just a bonus.
And he's behind in the count, 1-2 to Glasnow. Last time we saw Tyler, I know everyone talks about his fastball and it could reach triple digits, BA, but you think it's his off-speed stuff that's equally or more important.
Well, you see how important it was right there to get that first out. But, you know, that's what hurt him against the Toronto Blue Jays when he had the start where he did get out of the first inning and gave up the 7 earned runs. His curveball, you remember that game, early in that game, he was bouncing everything, could not make the adjustment, could not get any of the secondary pitches into the strike zone. And about 3 or 4 hitters in, the Toronto Blue Jay lineup said, hey, boys, just go up and hunt fastball. And fastballs out over the plate, they were able to connect with and obviously run up the big runs against him in that 2/3 of an innings. But you look what he's done outside of that one start, outstanding. Low 3s earned run average. He's got the curveball, the slider, obviously that fastball.
Number 2 batter for the Texas Rangers, Rougned Odor, another left-hander, struggling as of late. You can really say the same about 1 through 9 for this Texas offense. They lead all of the American League in runs scored since the All-Star break, BA, but they came out of the gates after the Midsummer Classic blazing, and they've really cooled off since. Glasnow hits Rougned Odor, and so the Rangers have their first base runner of their night. But Odor hit 155 in his last 11, and that brings up Elvis Andrus, who's hit 133 in his last 7 games.
Yeah, I mean, there's some very paltry numbers, and they're going to take a look to see if this even hit him. Here's the fastball. You see how sometimes it gets that natural cutting action. It did graze the top of that left foot.
Right on the laces.
Well, you know what Kevin Cash is thinking? If you got hit in the foot by a Glasnow fastball, you're not running down to first. You're going to be limping. But it did graze the top of that shoe for sure.
Kevin Cash securing the first winning season guaranteed in his 4-year managerial career with Tampa Bay. 82 wins on the year. Andrus with 6 home runs and 31 runs batted in this season. Last year he went 20-20. And along with 190 hits, BA, he became just the 5th shortstop all time to have those numbers. 20 home runs plus, 20 steals plus, and 190 hits plus. Here's the 2-0, driven to left. And it's caught by Malik Smith in right for the first out. Second out of the inning. Check that. And now Nomar Mazara steps up. Mazara hit 266, 20 home runs. But he struggling just like everyone else in this Rangers lineup lately. Over his last 5 games, 2 for his last 17. And Odor's going. The throw down from Schufo, not in time. Stolen base for Rougned Odor, his 12th steal on the season.
Well, anybody that can go is going to try and go. Glasnow, this is one of those things that he's going to be working on in the offseason, trying to speed up that delivery a little bit. You can see that tag is put on there. Odor has to stay in contact with that bag the entire way. Kevin Cash taking a look at that. Don't you love baseball in 2018?
And I think that comment you made moments ago, anytime they can go, they will.
Yeah.
I think you'd say that about both teams tonight.
Oh, yeah. And the Rays, they have been so aggressive on the pace pass all season long, really, but especially since the All-Star break. They got a lot of young guys, a lot of energy, and they have put them in motion.
So a runner in scoring position for Texas in the bottom of the first after the Rays struck first with a run in the top of the first.
And watch Glasnow's delivery. You know, as he comes set and starts to try to get 6 feet 8 inches tall of arms and legs, all choreographed and in sync. See how that takes a little bit of time. And that's what teams have been able to take advantage of. And even guys that aren't base stealers have gone. And so Kyle Snyder's like, they want to speed him up a little bit, but you can't speed him up too much where it affects the quality of pitches delivered to the plate.
Well, he's behind in the count now to a professional hitter, Nomar Mazara, 3-0. Snyder, as usual, keeping a close eye on Tyler Glasnow. And he walks Nomar Mazara on 4 straight pitches.
Well, let's quickly set that Rays defense for you. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield, left to right, we've got Tommy Pham, Kevin Kiermaier, and Malik Smith. And across the infield, the all-rookie infield, Joey Wendell, Willie Adames, Brandon Lau, and Jake Bowers with Nick Schufo behind the plate. I still think that is astounding that the Rays, and this is probably the fourth, fifth time at least that they've done this, the all-rookie infield, and you don't even notice it because they do not carry themselves like rookies.
And you know what? 4 of those 5 guys are all getting rings, with Durham winning the AAA championship in the International League. They all spent a chunk of time playing for the Durham Bulls. Joey Wendell's really the only one who didn't.
And tomorrow night, they've got the, what is that called? It's like the AAA National Championship game in Columbus. They play Memphis. We're going to 2-box that game in.
By the way, it's a rematch with Memphis. They beat them last year as well. And you know, the manager from Memphis last year, Mike Schilt, who's the current Cardinals manager now, after Mike Matheny got let go. And so their manager now is a gentleman by the name of Stubby Clapp.
I think I played against him.
I was wondering if you would have a history with Stubby Clapp.
I either played against him or I had him.
All of a sudden, Tyler Glass now in a bit of a jam. He's up 1-2 in the count, but the runners advance on another steal. So Odor is at second, Odor is at third, Mazzara is at second. And the future Hall of Famer, Adrian Beltre, with a 1-2 count. The count evens at 2-2. So much you can talk about with the Adrian Beltre. First of all, he went 4 for 10 the first time these two teams met back in April. But at 39 years old, he's now 32nd all-time on the home run list. And on Friday night, he just passed George Brett for 15th on the all-time hits list. And he swings and strikes out to end the first inning. So a big strikeout for Tyler Glass now to get out of trouble, stranding 2. We go to the second with the Rays up 1-0.
It is 1-0 Rays. Well, earlier in the season, manager Kevin Cash said the versatility of his roster really allows him to give guys days off and keep them fresh throughout this season. And we've definitely seen the benefit of that already. He said a lot of the younger guys are performing well and having solid years without the pressure of playing every day. And he also said that they all do want to play every day, but because of those days off their feet, it has contributed to some of the positive results and production that we've seen so far. So just another way that the versatility of the Rays roster helps us win ball games, guys.
Yeah, I would agree, and it also lengthens your bench a little bit. I mean, you look down and you see C.J. Cron, who was 6 for 12 against the Rangers first time around, coming off a good series against Oakland. You see Matt Duffy on the bench. riding a 5-game streak right now, so you know, things get a little bit later in the game. It's not just the bullpen that he's going to. He's got players on the bench offensively that can deliver for him as well. Adames serves it out to right field, the first out of the second inning.
And you got to love the quality. You've got to love the quality. It's not just warm bodies. You know, it's not just September call-ups and you have a guy you can go to. They are guys that are and have been productive all season long. And the way that Kevin Cash has been able to manage that bullpen, to manage all his young players, to manage all of the surplus of players that he has at certain positions has been outstanding. And that's why you're going to see him 1 or 2 in American League Manager of the Year voting.
Speaking of, his counterpart for the Texas Rangers, Jeff Bannister, in his 4th season, has a Manager of the Year award in his credit back in 2015. Finished in 2nd place in that category in 2016. As Kiermaier grounds to first baseman Ronald Guzman for the 2nd out of the inning. There's Kevin Cash, still the youngest manager in all of baseball, 40 years old. And when you talk about young, listen, Alex Cora also in his early 40s. They already have 103 wins, getting ready to take on the New York Yankees in the Bronx starting tomorrow. And then Bob Melvin, who we just saw. That's your ranking right now.
That's what I'm going with.
More numbers.
More numbers. You know what?
I was told there wasn't going to be math during this telecast, but apparently there is.
Still one of the best Saturday Night Live skits of all time.
He's the one who made Weekend Update what it was.
Yes. I love when they would cut to the desk and he would be wrapping up a phone call.
Yes. Setting up a date.
Yes.
I'm Chevy Chase and you're not. I've often wanted to start a telecast like that.
Well, we got tomorrow night.
Don't know if that would go over very well. Jake Bauers with 2 out, nobody on. Trying to bring that batting average back up over 200. Starting to swing a little bit of a hotter bat. 4 for his last 6. And an on-base streak of 8 games for the Rays first baseman. Swings and fouls that one off, so it's going to be a full count to Bauers. 11 home runs, 43 RBIs on the season, and Nick Schufo, the left-handed catcher, waits on deck if Bauers can reach. This Rays team has won 11 of their last 14, and they're 20-5 since August 19th. But Sampson handles the bottom part of the lineup. 1, 2, 3, and the Rangers are coming up for the bottom of the 2nd. Sports Sun is brought to you by WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. By Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. By Just for Men Auto Stop, time travel in a comb. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. At first I thought that was a look inside Brian Anderson's closet, but apparently that was a boot store in nearby downtown Dallas.
That might have been D. Wayne's stats closet.
I think so.
Possibly. I know it wasn't mine. You know, I got into that, you know, coming up with the Angels. Obviously, the Rangers are in the same division, and you know, you come here and they give you a little, you know, $100 off. Go down to the local boot shop, and you know, I come as a rookie, second-year guy. Well, that's a great idea.
Right.
Buy the boots, you know, wear them for a couple days. That was it.
Yeah.
I mean,
were your dogs barking?
No, I just would get back to Southern California and be like, what am I going to do with these?
Willie Calhoun swinging at the 1-2, ranging back, and Malik Smith. Did he make that catch? Yes, he did. An acrobatic catch from Malik Smith coming in at the last second.
Got a little awkward down there. That's going to be our Bonefish Grill fresh catch of the game. And Malik Smith, you can see him talking. Couldn't really see it. You see Brandon Lau kind of lays off of it, and Malik Smith makes that running, jumping catch into the short wall. You know, it's dusk here, so you've got that gray feel, you know, that gray look up in the sky, kind of like the Tropicana Field roof. And so it can be tough sometimes to track that ball this time of night.
And since you mentioned D. Wayne, as D. Wayne would say, put a gold star next to that one. Almost looked like Malik Smith was on his horse. That ball is lined to straightaway center field. Kevin Kiermaier playing it perfectly for out number 2. And that'll bring up the number 8 batter, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. As we said, he played some time at second base, at third, at short, and since toward the end of June, has taken on catching duties as well.
How about that? How about that transition? And how about having a player like that, like you said earlier, and it's very true, a manager's dream.
97 in for strike 1.
A guy willing to do whatever he can do to help the team. And ultimately, it ends up helping him.
Can't take him out of the lineup.
No, and you think about, again, the versatility. You think about the Rays and guys like, you know, Daniel Robertson and Joey Wendell and Jake Bowers with the infield positions and then some outfield. This guy's got infield positions and then some catching. That's impressive.
Falefa swings at strike 2, so it's a 1-2 count. And just like we've mentioned with just about everybody 1 through 9 for Texas, he's struggled lately. 190 in his last 23 games. This one he grounds softly to Lau at second. Over to Bowers, 1-2-3, go the Rangers. A 10-pitch inning for Tyler Glasnow. We go to the top of the third after Malik Smith made quite the grab for the first out of the inning. the third. Fans, you should reserve your 2019 race season tickets today and secure the biggest savings, best seat locations, concessions and merchandise discounts, and access to exclusive events all season long. Also, learn how you can enjoy an experience at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa or a complimentary catered suite. Visit raysbaseball.com/season tickets today. Love that dude's shirt. I love the beard, love his shirt more. Bucks, Bolts, and Rays. How about Fitzmagic? It's one thing to be the offensive player that he is the first 2 weeks, but to come out all Conor McGregor in the press conference?
Yeah, what was more impressive? His first two games worth of stats, or his post-game presser garb?
I'm going with post-game presser.
I mean, the chest hair, the chain, everything.
And that's from a Harvard grad. Now all of a sudden the conversations in football circles in Tampa are, does Winston start week 4 when he comes back? They still got a Monday nighter against Pittsburgh coming up. Schufo flies it into left field. Calhoun is there to make the first out of the top of the third.
Well, and they just got lit up by Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, 6 touchdowns for Pat Mahomes.
Thought that the opening weekend, 4 touchdowns, no picks, was impressive. Follows that up with 6 on the road, no less.
I'm surprised we're talking football, I'll be honest, Brian Anderson. It was not a banner week in the Anderson household.
Oh, it hasn't been for years. No, between the Huskers and the
I
Browns.
was going to say, what was worse, the Browns losing on Sunday or the Huskers losing on Saturday?
For me, it's getting to be the Browns.
Really?
Yeah, I'm becoming more and more into big boy football.
Alex Smith, second time around, he singled and reached second on an error in his first at bat to lead off the game. A 1-1 count. And what a season it's been from Alex Smith. Currently second in the American League in steals, tied for first with his teammate Kevin Kiermaier in triples.
He opened up the field. He opened up the field. He started to use the left side of the field, and you saw the, the batting average take off. Obviously, the on-base percentage. Taking some walks.
That one taken for strike 2. So it's 2-2, and another great stat from Alex Smith. He's third in the American League batting with 2 strikes.
Put the ball in play.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. He's smart enough. Say, listen, with 2 strikes, just put the ball in play. My speed, a lot of times, can beat things out.
And there you go. Another base hit from Alex Smith. This one coming with 2 strikes, and he's aboard for the second straight time.
Up the middle the other way. 2 strikes, you're just thinking, put the ball into the field of play and see if we can find a hole or see if I can beat it out. And he found a hole here, right off the mound and by Andrus.
So just like they did in the top of the first, the Rays put the top of the order on board. This time it's with 1 out, and that brings up Tommy Pham. Pham singled in the first, following up that Alex Smith single. So start another hit streak, Tommy Pham. Samsland wisely checking on Alex Smith over at first base. As much as we praise Isaiah Kiner-Falefa for going behind the dish and doing some catching for the Rangers, he is not much of a threat to gun you down if you're going to try to steal. Pham lines it sharply. Odor, Andrus to Guzman at first for another double play to end the third. Some solid defense by the Texas Rangers, and they're coming up in the bottom half of the third inning. experience with the MLB Ballpark app. Access and manage your tickets, enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Rays fans here in Arlington, just outside of Dallas, Texas, taking a look at the Rays and the Rangers. Rays lead it 1-0, and we start the bottom of the third. Rich Hollenberg, Brian Anderson. Start of a 7-game road trip, the final road trip of the season for the Tampa Bay Rays. They come in 34-40 on the road. So why not sweep the road series, end up above 500?
That would be something. And really, that's about what this team needs to do. Just continue to win. They've done an awful lot of that here the last couple of months.
1-1 to Drew Robinson is fouled off, so he's behind in the count 1-2. It was a 10-pitch second inning for Tyler Glasnow, so he's now at 31 pitches to start the bottom of the third. And swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the third strikeout of the night for Tyler Glasnow.
Boy, that is a dirty, dirty breaking ball. It starts up at the top of the strike zone, and he breaks it all the way to the bottom with good velocity, too. When you're talking about a breaking ball at 86 miles an hour with this kind of depth, my goodness, you just don't have a chance. It's just covering too much ground, top to bottom. Oh, and it's a strike, too. So if you want to take that pitch and not have to swing at it,
yeah,
you're still out.
If he doesn't want to hear from Kyle Snyder in the dugout every inning that he steps in there, he better throw those pitches for strikes. He's working on getting that curve over early in the count, and then he's relying more on the slider as a wipeout pitch, a strikeout pitch. And then, of course, you complement that with a 97 to 100 mile an hour heater. You've got the makings of a really promising pitching future for Tyler Glasnow.
And we've seen Tyler start to sprinkle in a changeup or two here or there. I think that will be a pitch that he continues to work on, continues to develop, and will become, part of the arsenal going forward. But when he came over to the Rays, it was keep it simple. There was a lot of fastball, curveball, and all of a sudden some more sliders start to come in, changeup here or there. But you're right, he has the makings of being a dominant starting pitcher.
Behind in the count to Shin-Soo Choo, who swings at the 3-1 offering sky high into left center field. Kiermaier ranging over and grabs it for the second out. So Choo is 0 for 2 tonight, and that brings up Rougned Odor with 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the third. Going back to that changeup that you talked about with Tyler Glasnow, I talked to him a couple of weeks ago about how his size and literally his hand size affects his ability to throw that pitch.
Yeah.
Does that make it harder that you have longer fingers, bigger hands?
I mean, I guess if they are ridiculously long,
yeah,
it could get to be because you kind of tuck that pitch. But what that would allow you to do then is you could say, well, you know what, my changeup's going to be a split. You could split the fingers a little bit. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that to a pitcher as young as Tyler Glasnow. I think anytime you split those fingers, the tension that you feel through your forearm and what that can lead to over time and going to that pitch an awful lot, I don't think you need to mess with that. But there are so many different changeup grips. It's just a matter of finding one that is comfortable for you. And the whole goal of the changeup is, what do we talk about? Fastball, arm speed. You got to throw it. It has to look and have the same arm speed as your fastball. What you're doing is you're taking your index finger and your middle finger, which are your power fingers, out from behind the baseball. However you do that, and there are many different ways to do it. However you do it, that's a version of a changeup.
Yeah. Swung on and grounded to first. Bowers fields it over to Glasnow. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Glasnow on 12 pitches. Navigating through the Rangers lineup. Rays coming up, top of the fourth. will be the new network home of Thursday Night Football, and the schedule we have on Fox this year is loaded. One huge can't-miss matchup after another. Thursday Night Football coming to Fox, Week 4. Now it's a game. Just a shame that the Cleveland Browns are playing on Thursday Night Football in Week 3.
They are. So, look, how about it?
There's a Bears fan.
Now, they're playing tonight.
Yeah. What's he doing?
Representing, apparently, at a Ranger-Rays game.
That I got to be honest, that always bugged me whenever I would cover hockey for the Lightning. There would be hockey fans there wearing just their random team that they root for, but as long as I'm wearing a hockey sweater,
right,
that's what I should be wearing to a hockey game. It doesn't matter if your team's playing or not. Don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
No, and it drives me absolutely up a wall. Okay, when you talk about the NFL, you're talking about a game that's once a week.
Yeah.
And you go to that once a week game, okay? You're going to go to the Buccaneers-Browns game on October the 21st at Raymond James Stadium. And someone will be at that game in a Drew Brees jersey. Please explain that to me. Or a Buffalo Bill jersey. Nathan Peterman. The one that's out there.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, explain that to me.
I don't understand it. I guess that guy had tickets he just couldn't get rid of, and he realized too late that his Bears were playing on Monday Night Football. Choi fouls 3 straight off. He's behind in the count 1-2. Singled in his first at bat. Choi from South Korea, just like his countryman, Shin-Soo Choo, in the lineup for the Rangers. You don't see that too often. He looks at ball 2, evens the count at 2-2. Pitch. Swung on and popped up. And coming on is Mazzara to make the catch. And there's 1 out in the top of the 4th.
Well, Sampson has settled in nicely here. You know, Kevin Cash running out all of these left-handed hitters, and Sampson's had some success against them with the changeup. You know, and you know, Adrian Sampson, fastball slider most of the time to the righties. And then with the lefties, he's fastball changeup. He loves the changeup when he's ahead in 2 strikes. He really loves the changeup when he's behind in the count. So that's a big pitch for him that he's having some success with. Getting to use it quite a bit too with all these lefties in the lineup.
That brings up another left-hander, Joey Wendell. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning.
Sometimes that's a risk that you run. If you are a left-handed pitcher and you want to run out a whole bunch of righties, you let that guy get into a rhythm against him.
And Wendell drives this one deep into the right field, and he's going to have extra bases. Joey Wendell is on with a double. Wendell coming in, hitting .296 against right-handed hitting, and he showed why he's had so much success against them.
Finally getting something going here. This ball's absolutely tattooed. Down and away. Actually ends up down and in, and Wendell rips it into the corner.
This is a great matchup for Joey Wendell. He loves hitting righties, and he loves hitting on the road, hitting 5th in the American League in road batting average. Just another in a tremendous litany of statistics that is the reason why Joey Wendell should be vying for American League Rookie of the Year honors. This one skied to left field down the 3rd base line, and there's 2 away with Wendell on second. Brandon Lau's 0 for 2. I mean, Wendell's like the Isaiah Kiner-Falefa of the Tampa Bay Rays. I don't know if Joey Wendell's ever going to catch. We don't think so. But you can put him in so many different positions, hit him up and down in the lineup.
Yeah.
You got to love guys like that.
Yep. Oh, and, you know, you saw this in the early years, you know, with Joe Madden and Ben Zobrist. And he was like, wow, they have this guy. They move him around the outfield, second base. And now every team, it seems, wants a bunch of those guys.
Another well-hit ball by Willie Adames this time, but it finds the mitt of Nomar Mazara, and the Rays are out in the fourth. You about their new ballpark. The Rays' new ballpark is designed to be the smallest and most intimate in Major League Baseball, with a wide variety of types of seating appealing to everyone. To learn more and provide your input into what you'd like to see, visit ballparkreimagined.com. A number of front office personnel from the Rays making the trip here to Arlington to take in what is going to be the new ballpark for the Texas Rangers in 2021. They'll play next year at Globe Life Park, and then the following season they will enter their brand new stadium next door. And stay tuned to Fox Sports Sun, because during this 3-game series, Michelle Margot is going to head over there to what they're calling Texas Live. Similar to the Battery that we saw outside of SunTrust Park in Atlanta.
Yep.
Building a community outside a ballpark, which is very much what it's going to be like in Ybor City, except that our community already exists there. And you take a look and you can actually see it taking shape already. Restaurants, Jerry World is a stone's throw away.
Jerry World at the old hotel that we used to stay at out in Fort Worth. If you were up on the top floor looking out from Fort Worth to Arlington, you could see that's how big that structure is.
Yeah, it is a
like
sight
spaceship.
to behold. Yeah,
yep.
Absolutely. Elvis Andrus leading things off. He flew out to right in the first, and he grounds that pitch to Adames. Fields fires over to Bowers. There's one away. Well, speaking of Jerry World, there you see it in the top right portion of your television screen, and Globe Life Field, so they're not changing the name of it, but Globe Life Field will have a retractable roof. They have the real estate to pull that off.
Yeah, and you need that here.
Yeah.
You know, it's the middle of September, and it was scorching this afternoon. Mid-90s, a lot of heat, humidity. That's going to come in quite handy for the players and the fans, for that matter.
Day game Wednesday, baby. Here's Nomar Mazara. He walked in the first, hitting .266 on the year with 20 home runs, 74 driven in. One of 6 left-handed bats tonight that Jeff Bannister has trotted out against Tyler Glasnow. And Mazara's behind in the count, 0-2. Have you liked what you've seen so far from Tyler?
How could you not? You know, he's out there. He's, after that first inning, that he got up into the 20s in pitch count, he's been much more efficient, pitching to some contact. When he's put himself in situations like this, he's been able to put these guys away. Curveball, slider have been good, as has the fastball. Picking up right where he left off in his last start against the Indians.
Had a 10-pitch second inning and a 12-pitch third inning. That'll help move things along. and get Tyler Glasnow deeper into games, which is certainly, I don't know if it's a goal, but it's certainly a residual positive effect of him pitching well.
Well, the 2 starts against the Indians. Now, they gave him no run support.
Right.
Both games were losses and a shutout, but 7 innings in each of them, both a career high. And he's fully capable of doing that. You know, he's not a big strikeout guy that to get through 7 innings, he's got to throw 120 pitches.
Well, you mentioned the run support. 2 runs or fewer in all of his 8 games started. 4 strikeouts on the night. And that brings up the future Hall of Famer, Adrian Beltre.
Well, you know what? Speaking of that, Rich, scouting report, Hall of Fame credentials, 21st season, 474 home runs, all of the hardware, and 22. This is how long this guy's been playing. 22 is the number of plate appearances that Adrian Beltre has against me, and I haven't thrown a pitch in a game that's counted since May of 2005.
You know what my next question's going to be.
I don't know. I don't know. Probably, I honestly do not know.
Johnny O?
Yeah, Johnny will get to us. But 22 plate appearances back when he was a rookie, 19 years old, 18, 19, whenever it was, with the Dodgers. And I was with the Diamondbacks.
He's 14th all-time in extra base hits. Ducks at that one. And it's 2-1.
5 for 21. 4 of the 5 hits for extra bases. A couple of homers. Solo shots and losing efforts. It's okay.
Beltre fights that one off. He has 31-55, 3,155 career hits. That's good for 15th all time. How about this? Sandwiched in between George Brett, who we just passed, and Cal Ripken Jr., who's next on the list.
Wow.
Talk about the quality of a man is the company he keeps. Beltre fists that one over to Lau at second. And the Rangers go down in order, 1, 2, 3. It'll be Kevin Kiermaier leading things off in the top of the 5th for the Rays, up 1-0.
Globe Life Park. Well, they say that everything is bigger in Texas. And guys, that includes the food.
Are you kidding me?
We have a 2-foot Texas 2-step Philly cheesesteak. You're
come
welcome.
on.
Wait a
from
minute
Globe
now.
Life
Wait a
Park.
minute. Without, I'm risking all of our notes and scorecards and
sorry.
everything. But wait, no. See if we can
Yeah, I don't know
look
which way.
at this
But if you spill it,
beauty.
Rich, I know.
2 feet?
2 feet long. And they have all sorts of things. They have an Adrian Beltre burger that's massive.
My
all sorts of cool
goodness
stuff.
gracious.
I know. So, over under on how long it takes you guys to eat this.
Probably by the 7th inning of the day game on
I was
Wednesday.
just going to say, I was going to
That's
go.
weak.
I was going to
Yes.
go tomorrow. You're
Yes.
already going Wednesday. Leftovers for days,
Hey,
and it tastes better tomorrow. I bet.
I'm going to tell you something. I parked in a new spot today, and was walking through the concourse, about an hour before the game as they were getting all these stands up and going.
Yeah.
Just walking along the concourse and getting into the media elevator, I gained 10 pounds from the smells. I mean, it is fantastic.
Look at
down
this,
there,
brother.
the smells of
this
these
just
foods.
has
This is them
nothing-
constructing this monstrosity right
and
now.
they have one called the boomstick, which is basically a 2-foot hot dog.
Uh-huh.
I mean, people say the Dodger dog is big. It's supposed to be, I think, 10 or 12 inches. This is 2 feet.
Look
I mean, this
at
is
that.
24 inches.
You know what you need to
guys.
do? You know what you need to do, Michelle?
What do I need to
this
do,
is
buddy?
this is your next hit right now. You go find the calorie count on this bad boy.
Oh my.
Okay,
I
I
want to
don't
know
wanna
how
make
many
anyone cry here.
thousands
I'm seeing
of
some grilled
calories.
onions. The cheese is what makes it, though.
Oh,
I know.
the 2 ladles full.
Yeah.
So, all right, am I leaving this for you guys? Yeah, that's the boomstick right
Wait a
there.
minute. Do you think you were going to bring it and then take it away?
Absolutely.
I can't concentrate with those smells. I mean,
know.
that is just
But
Oh, and
so
look at the
thing is,
chili
how
on
many
top of the
people-
cheese.
it's unbelievable.
Do you think, so this is at Globe Life Park, right? So it's right behind home plate. There's only one, I'm pretty sure only one location in the ballpark. But how many people do you think share this?
Not many.
Well, 3 tonight
Yeah.
and tomorrow.
If
And
I'm feeling
early on
generous,
Wednesday.
yes.
This is Texas, though. They
I know,
could-
everything's bigger
yeah,
here, guys.
They could put away their meat, Texas.
You know who would not be happy with all of this food just being gooped on like that? Joey Wendell.
Yeah.
Joey Wendell would not be a fan of the excess with the cheese. Just a lot of waste.
Yeah,
You can't eat all this.
no, but this could feed the entire clubhouse.
That's
Bowers
true.
with a good swing, drives it to deep center,
Post-game spread.
but Drew Robinson's there for the second out of the inning.
So this is the Beltray burger that I was telling you guys about.
Yeah. Can you bring us one of these, though? This could be
Sure,
the last
Rich.
time we see Adrian Beltre. I feel like
I
we owe it to
know.
ourselves to have a Beltre
Is
burger.
that bacon? I think that's bacon in there.
Yeah.
Way to use the telestrator.
That
was
looks
beautiful.
really
I've
good,
never
too.
circled bacon. I had to take my shot.
That looks really good.
Yeah, that looks good.
Wow. This could be my favorite hit that you've ever done all season.
Good. I'm glad that I could provide some sustenance.
All right. Take it if you must, but get a knife or a chainsaw if you need to,
Yeah.
and divvy up the portions.
This is not their first rodeo.
You're
no
like
pun
the room
intended
mom.
here.
You're like our room mom. You could
I'll take
divvy
that
up the
title.
portions for us.
But they even put it in like this little cardboard
I
holder.
love it.
I
You
mean,
can
this
take
is
it with you.
professional status.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.
Thank you, Michelle.
You could smell that. You could hear that she was close.
How great was it that you and I were looking at each other going, why is she whispering right now?
yeah. Because she was coming up to club us with that thing from behind.
Right. I think I have heartburn.
No, I'm telling you, I gained 10 pounds
Ugh.
walking along the concourse. You cannot imagine the food that they have here, the smells. It is incredible.
I think you'd be hard-pressed at this point, in this day and age, to find a baseball stadium that doesn't have some really dynamite food options. I mean, are you kidding me?
Hey, they had, how about this? They had a stand down there that was called State Fair. So it was like State Fair food, fried
Deep
Twinkies.
fried.
Oh yeah.
Oh, gosh.
It's. I'm telling you, you've got to make that trip and walk around the concourse and look at all the options that they have here.
Done. A feast for the senses at Globe Life Park. Here's the 2-2. And Shufo looks at ball 3, full count. Now that just looked boring. After all that great food we saw, it's like nachos?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Meat and potatoes guy.
Come on, brother, you're better than that. Boise State Broncos in the house. Full count to Shufo and a hot shot to Rugnet Odor at second. He's done a terrific job improving his defense this year. And Rugnet Odor ends the frame. The Rays go down in order, 1, 2, 3, and that'll bring up the bottom portion of the Rangers order, and we are still hungry for more at Globe Life Park. Brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers, by El Dorado Furniture, a different kind of furniture store for over 50 years, and by your local Ford dealers. Rich Hollenberg, Brian Anderson, Michelle Margot, the room mom, bringing everybody snacks inside the press box, and look at those ribs.
I mean, ribs.
First pitch swinging, Adames fields it cleanly, and Calhoun is retired on one pitch. You know, whenever I see ribs and I say, look at those ribs, are you a fan of the movie I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker?
No, never seen it.
You should rent it. And then we'll talk about the rib scene. But that's, I mean, Texas barbecue, I don't know. Texas barbecue, Carolina barbecue,
Yes.
Nashville barbecue, different styles, different sauces.
Yep.
I go Texas.
See, I get split. I lean towards Kansas City, but Texas is right up there too.
Yeah. And you said you all used to stay in Fort Worth, huh?
Yeah,
Did you stay
yeah.
like in the stockyards?
Yeah, well, no, but they were close.
Yeah.
They were very close. We stayed right downtown, a great downtown. Fort Worth is outstanding.
It's dynamite. This one driven deep, and Kiermaier on his horse makes a leaping grab right in front of the wall. That's going to go on the Kevin Kiermaier highlight reel for sure. 2 outs in the inning.
He may have gotten caught there at the end. It looked like he had slowed himself down and was going to make, getting back there on your horse and then make the catch, and that ball just continued to carry. So the little leap at the end, and had to hang a little bit.
Talk about getting it at the peak of your jump. You've seen some really good defense from both clubs tonight. Rougned Odor's turned in a couple of nice plays at second for the Rangers, and Malik Smith had one earlier in the game in right for the Rays, and now Kevin Kiermaier. Gold glove caliber catch out in center. And more importantly, 2 up, 2 down, keeping that pitch count down for Tyler Glasnow. He's 1-1 to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And now he's up in the count 1-2 after Kiner-Falefa fouls that one off. And the off-speed pitch. Adames is going to have to hustle. And he's safe at first. Good effort by Willy Adames. A good pick by Jake Bowers at first. But Isaiah Kiner-Falefa beats it out for an infield single.
Just didn't hit it hard enough, boy, right off the end of the bat. Little chopper, and Willy Adames had to come an awful long way. just run out of time.
So that's the first hit of the night given up by Tyler Glasnow, and it comes with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. And brings up the number 9 hitter, Drew Robinson. Struck out in his first at bat in the 3rd. And he swings at that one. Quickly down in the count, 0-2.
Oh.
3 straight pitches, and he gets the backwards K for the punch out to end the bottom of the 5th. Tyler Glasnow rolls on to the 6th we go from Arlington. Life Park in Arlington. Well, Tyler Glasnow got in a little bit of trouble in the first, but has settled down since. Just 64 pitches through 5 innings, only 1 hit allowed, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. He has been sharp. And Ji-Man Choi, back-to-back-to-back hits to start off the game. Ji-Man Choi's RBI single in the first, accounting for the only run in the game. The Rays lead it 1-0 as we head to the top of the 6th. And that man who started things off for the Rays with a base hit in the first, Mallex Smith, looking for his 3rd straight hit tonight. He's 2 for 2, 2 singles. We talk so much about how this baby Rays team is full of rookies. You forget that Mallex Smith is still so young. He's only playing in his 2nd game of his career in Arlington. Young team, young skipper.
I thought it was great when the Rays got, to the ballpark today, and Kevin Cash brought out the tape measure from the mound to home plate, 60 feet 6 inches. Then he took it down the baselines, 90 feet, letting these guys know, hey, listen, just a field. Let's go play some ball. Right out of Hickory High.
Well, I was going to say a little Hoosiers inspiration. The 1-1 from Sampson. That one's fouled off down the 3rd base line. So Mallex behind in the count, 1-2. Had 2 strikes on him in his last at bat, and he banged that single up the middle off Sampson. I mentioned Glasnow had 64 pitches through 5. You can say the same thing about Adrian Sampson, 64 pitches through 5 innings. he's showing Jeff Bannister some positive signs in his 2 starts most recently. Last one was certainly a tough luck loss, 5 innings, just 2 hits and 1 run against the Angels, and he's pitching into the 6th again now. Here's the 2-2. Taken outside for ball 3.
Well, what he's been doing is he's been pitching, changing speeds, using both sides of the plate, utilizing his defense. There have been a number of good plays made behind him, but he's keeping them active.
Alex fouls that one off.
Guys that work quickly, throw strikes, guys behind him, they're on the balls of their feet all the time, ready to make plays, a little bit more active out there.
Well, after the first inning where he allowed the first 3 hitters to reach, first 4 hitters if you consider Joey Wendell with the fielder's choice, innings 2 through 5, he's only gone 1 over the minimum, allowing the double to Joey Wendell and the single to Malik Smith, but got out of the 3rd inning with a nice double play, 4-6-3.
Well, Malik's putting a nice little at-bat together here too, fouling off some tough pitches, back to what we said his last time. I'm just trying to put the ball in play. Maybe my speed can end up helping me here.
And he takes ball 4. Malik Smith has reached all 3 times tonight, and the leadoff batter is on for the Tampa Bay Rays.
That's a bad walk. 3rd time through the lineup, you walk a leadoff guy with a ton of speed. That's a bad walk, and it'll earn you a quick meeting.
And he had him down 1-2 in the count as well. First walk of the night for Sampson. The Rays win tonight. They pick up a half game on the idle Oakland A's. Currently 7 games back from that 2nd wild card spot. This team has defied the odds all season long. Here's Tommy Pham. He's hit the ball hard every time he's been up. Grounded into a double play his last time up in the 3rd. 19-game on-base streak for Tommy Pham, who's hitting .309 since he got traded over from the St. Louis Cardinals. Malix is going. Kiner Falefa's throw is in time. A bang-bang play, and we're going to see if Kevin Cash is going to want to look at this one.
He is going, and I don't know if the throw was there on time or did Malix come off the bag. It certainly looked like Malix got there, but did he come off the bag while the tag was being applied? That could be the only thing that got him. Falefa out there just gets rid of the ball as quickly as he can. And yeah, he's there, but does he come off? And that's what they're looking for.
Certainly looked safe.
Let's see.
Second base umpire Ben May is right on top of the play.
Oh, you know what? He had the hand on the shoe. The left hand was on the shoe of Andrus. And so I think that's what the call was, is, he was never in contact with the bag. He was in contact with the guy's shoe.
And you can educate me, the shoe does not become part of the bag when the foot is on the bag?
Well, it started off in front. It was kind of half on, half off.
Right.
And so as the hand, it was the oven mitt goes in there. Watch, he sticks that foot right there in front. He goes to the toe. Now, is he on the backside? And then all of a sudden, he's scraping up over top of it. Rays feel like it's worth a challenge, and so they're going to take a closer look. Right.
That's almost inadvertently like blocking the plate when you're coming home.
All it takes is one guy to slide feet first, and they'll never do that again.
That's Rougned Odor you're talking about.
Well, they just get up and punch out. See how the hand right there, the little oven mitt, comes over the shoe, but was the tag still being applied then? I mean, this is going to be tough. You hate that this went against the Rays on the field, because Now you've got to have something definitive that he absolutely was there and was there the whole time.
Really difficult to overturn that. The call on the field was out at second base, and really credit Mallex Smith for keeping his hand on the bag after it went over the cleat.
Here we go.
And the call stands. Mallex Smith caught stealing.
And that's probably what it is. It's going to be stands, not confirmed. Oh, they're going to confirm that.
So the call is confirmed. And now Tommy Pham will be batting with a 1-0 count and nobody on and 1 out. Sampson allowed a leadoff walk to Mallex Smith, but that gets erased on the caught stealing. Tommy fouls that one off. It's 2-1. 75 pitches now for Adrian Sampson, making his second career start for the Texas Rangers. We said he had that connection to Tyler Glasnow. Both came up through the Pirates organization, played some fall league ball together. Another connection with him and a Rays pitcher. Tomorrow's starter, Blake Snell, who grew up in Seattle. Well, Adrian grew up in Bellevue, Washington, just about 20 minutes away from Seattle. Pitching well tonight. 5 1/3 so far, allowing just 1 run and 5 hits to the Rays. Bullpen starting to get active for the Texas Rangers. That's the left-hander Curtis. And swings and misses at strike 3. Second strikeout of the night for Adrian Sampson.
Nothing fancy about that, just a sinker that he's able to sneak underneath the swing. A little late dart in, and Pham right over the top of it. He has been getting, not a ton of sink, but it's late. 91, a little bit of an explosive movement, arm side.
So that brings up Ji-Man Choi, who swings at the first offering and fouls it back.
Does a good job of driving that pitch downhill and try to create some, a little bit of an angle with it.
He's certainly not as big as Tyler Glasnow. Very few are, but he's 6'2", about 220. He's at very least husky. He's got some size to him. Here's the 0-1. Choi looks at ball 1.
Like when you were in grade school and you had husky
the husky
jeans.
section.
Yeah.
And the husky section of the mall. Yeah, you go play in the dirt in those husky jeans. They no rips in those babies.
Extra thick denim.
That's right.
With the leather belt loop.
Uh-huh. The 2-1 to Choi. Swung on and missed, strike 2.
And he's another guy, Sampson, that has the changeup that does not have that big of a mile-per-hour difference. The fastball, been around 91. That changeup's around 86. Talking about 5-6 miles an hour max.
That ball 92 mile an hour. Taken outside, so it's a full count to Ji-Man Choi. 9 home runs this year for Choi. 8 of them have come against right-handed pitchers. 2 outs, full count. Here's the delivery, and it's driven deep by Choi to dead center field. And Robinson runs out of room. A home run for Ji-Man Choi. And the Rays go on top 2-0. Well, he sat on that pitch and sent it right back to dead center field, 400+ feet away.
Watch the lift that he gets with the swing. That high finish kind of flips that ball out there. That is a pretty finish there by Choi, and right out to straightaway center.
And a tough end to the night for Adrian Sampson, who goes 5 2/3, but the call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. The Rays up 2-0 with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. The new Monopoly jackpot scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. Our new spin on a classic. They're loaded with prizes from $10,000 to $2 million. So unleash the excitement anytime. The Florida Lottery, it's your ticket. Claim it. The Rays have claimed a 2-0 lead, and that spells the end of the night for Adrian Sampson after 5 2/3, and that brings on Zach Curtis, a September call-up for Jeff Bannister and the Texas Rangers, who's allowed 3 earned runs over 2 2/3 innings pitched in his first 3 appearances with the big club.
Well, on for the 11th time. He's worked 12 1/3 innings. More than, well, look at the strikeouts, but then look at the walks. So a little bit all over the place with his command, and you would expect that the Rays have a pretty good idea about that. You've got to stay patient, force him into the zone.
He's got the business in the front, party in the back, working.
The Kentucky waterfall.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, Kentucky waterfall. And you wonder if maybe that pulls him off. You know, you get things going a little bit, kind of pulls that body offline a little bit. That's why the command isn't where they'd like it to be. I mean, because that's thick.
Yeah, that's Garth Algar right there. Wondering where Wayne is. Maybe he's in the bullpen too. That's a nice off-speed pitch. Little back door to Joey Wendell, who's the first batter facing Curtis. Wendell 1 for 2 on the night, had a double in the 4th inning. 25 doubles on the year for the rookie Joey Wendell. A 2-out bomb by G-Man Choi, his 10th home run on the season, has staked the Rays to a 2-0 lead here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. And now the reliever, Zach Curtis, facing a 3-1 count to the first batter he faces, Joey Wendell. And it's outside, ball 4. Well, the Rays and 7-Eleven are bringing $7.11 tickets to Rays fans. Visit a local participating 7-Eleven store and pick up a discount voucher for the game on Friday, September 28th against the Blue Jays. While you're there, show your Rays pride and enjoy a Big Gulp in a Rays-branded Big Gulp cup for only 79 cents in stores now. Up steps Brandon Lau, who's 0 for 2 on the night. And he looks at strike one at the knees. Well, the starter, Adrian Sampson, allowed just one walk in 5 2/3. Zach Curtis comes on and walks the first batter he faces, Joey Wendell. Puts a runner on first with 2 outs in the 6th for the Rays. Looking to tack on against the Rangers. The 0-1. Taken outside, evens the count at 1 apiece. In his time with the Rangers, left-handed hitters are just 2 for 9 against Zach Curtis. Loud, quick swing. Behind in the count, 1-2.
Well, if he's going to end up becoming a mainstay in this Ranger bullpen, he is going to have to clean up the walks. You think about guys coming in later in games, even to get out just a tough lefty. A walk an inning is just not going to work.
Wasn't exactly what I would call a pickoff move from Zach Curtis either.
Well, you grade out each move, and that was the F move for sure. You hope that there's a couple of better versions.
Usually,
there's a C or D.
I think that was kind. Usually you see a lefty and you just assume he's got at least a decent pickoff move.
I remember Chuck Hernandez,
yeah,
my first ever pitching coach, and said, especially as a starter, said if you're a starting pitcher in Major League Baseball and you do not have a good pickoff move, you're just lazy. You're just lazy.
Here goes Wendell. Kiner Falefa with the throw, not in time. Joey Wendell has a stolen base, his 14th swipe bag, and they called him out. Oh, it was a strikeout. Strikeout. There we go. I'm looking at the runner the whole time. There's a strikeout to end the inning, but Ji-Man Choi does the damage. It's 2-0 Rays as we go to the bottom of the 6th. The top of the 6th, or the bottom of the 7th now. Shin-Soo Choo leading things off. Bottom 6, 2-0 Rays. Tyler Glasnow just 66 pitches in now, a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. He's working on a one-hitter. Coming off a good start at home, 7 innings against the Indians. Following it up with another good one, maybe even better at this point. Chu is 0 for 2. He struck out in the first, flew out to Kevin Kiermaier in third. And he swings through that one, so it evens the count at 2 apiece. If there's one thing that Tyler Glasnow has been susceptible to, it's the long ball, and Shin-Soo Choo has 21 home runs this year. Swings and just gets a piece of that one, so the count remains 2-2. Ball close, but it's going to be a full count.
That's what's interesting about Tyler Glasnow. He's got a very good swing and miss percentage, a high swing and miss percentage. He has a well below average chase percentage, if you can believe that. And that's what makes him, really, it's what makes him special, because it shows you that he's able to overpower guys within the strike zone to pick up strikeouts. If he's ever to start, increasing his chase percentage, and he tried to get a chase here on that fastball up and out of the zone, but Choo not going for it. But boy, if he's ever able to, like I said, get that chase percentage even up to league average, boy, his strikeouts will go through the roof.
And Choo, one of the tougher at bats in all the American League. He's tied for third coming into tonight in bases on balls. He draws one there, and the leadoff walk is always dreaded, especially when you're facing the top of the order of an offense that has been struggling but can put up runs. Odor swinging at the first pitch, lines it out to Tommy Pham in left, and there's one away. This is an offense, as much as they've struggled over the course of the last 10 games or so, they average just under 5 runs a game, 4.7 to be exact. But in those last 10, collectively, this Texas lineup is batting just .218.
Well, then you combine that with a pitching staff that has been atrocious all season. You're not going to win, and that's something they've had a hard time doing all season.
Just misses with the fastball on the outside corner. So it's 1-0 to Elvis Andrus. Flew out in the first, grounded out to Willie Adames at short in the fourth. And he skies this one back and foul. And not much has come off the heater for Tyler Glasnow through the first 75 pitches. He's thrown 96. 3 times this season with the Rays. He's gone 90 or above. So he's still got some room, some gas left in the tank. Only 4 Texas hitters have reached base. 1 hit, 2 walks, and a hit by pitch for Glasnow so far. We have
Choo,
1 out in the bottom of the 6th.
Choo was getting ready to take off. I think he aborted a takeoff towards second base.
He only has 6 stolen bases, but as you touched on earlier in the telecast, BA, this Rangers team is going to run any chance they get.
Well, it is the one way that you can really try to exploit and attack Tyler Glasnow. Get base runners and put them into motion.
And they ring up Elvis Andrus. The 6th strikeout of the night for Tyler Glasnow. And that's a big one with a runner on first. There's now 2 away.
Here's a chase for you. How about that slider down and actually bounced it right in front of the plate, and Andrus just cannot hold up.
Here's Mazzara. Walked in the first, struck out in the fourth. With 6 strikeouts on the night for young Tyler Glasnow, making his 9th start for the Rays and looking for his first win since he came over in that trade at the trade deadline from the Pittsburgh Pirates. There's a quick strike, 0-1 to Mazzara. Blake Snell goes tomorrow night here in Arlington, looking at win number 20 if he can secure the victory. Glasnow throws over the first.
Think about what these Rangers hitters are going to face game 1, game 2. Right-handed power from on high, and then left-handed power from on high. I'll tell you, that is a nasty combo back to back.
And as good as Tyler Glasnow's been, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better pitcher in all of baseball since the All-Star break than Blake Snell. Leads the league in wins with 19. Tops in ERA at 2.03. Here's the 2-1 from Glasnow. It's grounded in front. Tough play. Glasnow can't make it. And with 2 away, the Rangers will have 2 runners on.
Right, Tyler needed to get to that ball before that second bounce and just wasn't able to do so. That's a tough, a swinging chop right here by Mazzara. High, and he comes in trying to glove it. Once that gets to the ground and he's got to go all the way down for it, it's just not going to be made.
You saw his reaction after that, how frustrated he was. And Kyle Snyder coming out to have a quick little chat with Tyler Glasnow, trying to settle him down. Especially now facing Adrian Beltre. Take a look at our Toyota inside look. All the numbers for Adrian Beltre add up to 3 letters, H-O-F.
Incredible, an incredible career. Obviously, you could see a double threat guy offensively. Look at defense, 5 gold, 2 times he's been platinum. And I guess if you played in the 14th most games of all time, you're going to have the 15th most hits.
Yeah, sure.
Consistent.
This season, as you would imagine, somebody who's played 2 decades in the league. He spent a couple of stints on the DL. His hamstrings are starting to bark a little bit. But this past Friday and Saturday at San Diego, he played third base 2 games in a row, and that was the first time in over a month that he did that. He's had a good September, has Adrian Beltre, hitting over 300 in the month.
Got 12 home runs on the season, 5 here in September.
And 5 doubles as well. Double barrel in the Rays bullpen. That's Hunter Wood at the bottom of your screen, Adam Kolarek at the top, a lefty-righty. And a strike to Beltre. Beltre struck out in the first and grounded to second in the 4th inning. Trying to drive in the first Rangers run of the night. He dances around the batter's box as he takes strike, or ball 2 rather.
He got fooled by that curveball and then realizing it was out of the zone, little happy dance.
The 2-1 with 2 outs to Adrian Beltre. Ball's outside. Glasnow being careful with the Rangers' third baseman. He's behind in the count, 3-1. Willie Calhoun waits on deck. Mazzara reached on an error by Glasnow infield. And that ball is popped up sky high. Kevin Kiermaier under it, and Glasnow out of trouble. Adrian Beltre flies out to center to end the bottom of the 6th. The Rays maintain a 2-zip lead. Official score change in between that inning gave the Rangers a hit. That was a hit by Nomar Mazara on that infield chopper, so no error to Glasnow, but his second hit given up on the night. Here's what's coming up on Rays Live, the pregame show tomorrow, presented by your local Honda dealers. Blake Snell looking for win number 20. Orestes breaks down Matt Duffy, who we would expect to be in the lineup after getting a night off tonight, although, of course, he's available for pinch hitting duties tonight, but we haven't seen him yet. That's Rays Live, the pregame show tomorrow with Neil and the Big O. Willie Adames will lead things off in the top of the 7th. Rays up 2-0. They've only scratched out 6 hits, but Tyler Glasnow has pitched shutout baseball, allowing only 2 hits so far. Adames 0 for 2, lined out to right field, both at bats. Coming in with multi-hit games in 5 of his last 11. And there's the education of Tyler Glasnow. And if you're 6'8", you could be part of that conversation.
That was part of the early buy-in with Glasnow, saying, look, my pitching coach is the same height. He's had to deal with the same issues that I deal with. So you already had that kinship just based on how tall you are, and obviously understanding that Kyle Snyder knows what he's talking about.
Zach Curtis hasn't been able to find the strike zone. He walks Willie Adames on 4 pitches, so the leadoff man is on with nobody out for the Rays. Stay tuned in the middle of the 7th inning. The Ram game break on the way, brought to you by the all-new 2019 Ram 1500. Neil and the Big O standing by for that. So Adames on for the first time tonight with a leadoff walk. Kevin Kiermaier in the box, 0 for 2 on the night. And another ball. That's 5 straight balls for Zach Curtis. Kiermaier got his average up to 224. That's mostly courtesy of a 425 batting average the month of September. And finally a strike from Curtis. Evens the count at 1-1. Kiermaier comes in, 9 triples on the season. That's tied with his teammate Malik Smith for tops in the American League. He's second all-time in that category in Tampa Bay Rays franchise history. Now the left-hander Perez warming up for Jeff Bannister in the Rangers bullpen. Here's the 1-1, and that's driven up the middle. Base hit for Kevin Kiermaier. And Adames on his horse, going to go for third. Kiermaier trying to stretch it into a double, and he's in there. A hustle double by Kevin Kiermaier puts runners at second and third with nobody out in the top of the 7th.
Well, the leadoff walk once again, and we said that is going to be an issue with Curtis as he tries to establish himself in this bullpen. You cannot be giving out free passes late in the game. Then you hang a breaking ball, and Kevin Kiermaier takes advantage, gets it out into right center field deep enough that he's able to scoot into second. Rays building a nice inning here, looking to add on.
You cannot sleep if you're an outfielder playing against Kevin Kiermaier.
And that has to be part of the game plan coming in. I mean, you have got to sit down your outfielders and say, guys, in baseball, and we learned this from Morris Buttermaker. He's the first guy to teach us. Don't assume. Don't assume. Go get the ball and get it in as quickly as you can, or this guy will take an extra base on you. And by the way, he's not the only one in this Rays lineup that'll try to pull that stunt.
We've seen it happen all year. And it's interesting on the heels of that just taking place. I was talking to some people in the Rangers organization, and they were saying it's been a difficult year, but one thing that we've seen an improvement is defensively, and our outfielders have a good number of assists. Now, part of that is because the pitchers are giving up a lot of hits.
Yes, a lot of opportunities.
There's a deep fly ball, sending Calhoun back, but that's going to play to run, and Jake Bowers has himself a sac fly RBI, and that extends the Rays' lead to 3-0.
Well, that kind of reminds me of I had a really good pickoff move because I had an awful lot of practice, a lot of base runners.
Right.
That's how you get good.
Yeah. These same people were saying, yeah, you know, we get a lot of double plays. It's because a lot of guys are on first and
right.
second base.
That is so right.
Well, now the Rays are going to go to the bench, as we talked about earlier in this telecast. One of the great benefits of having a deep, thick lineup for Kevin Cash is he's able to bring a bopper like C.J. Cron off the bench, and they're going to quickly send him to first base. So Cron taking the place of Nick Schufo in the batting order. He immediately gets intentionally walked, and that'll flip the lineup to the top of the order with Malik Smith due up. It looks like the night will be done for Zach Curtis. This call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Martin Perez coming on for the Rangers. Sports Sun is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Simply Healthcare, live the Simply life. And by your local Honda dealer. Cutting an imposing figure outside Globe Life Park. There is the likeness of Nolan Ryan. Big number 34, the Ryan Express. The king of the no-hitter. And now Martin Perez steps in to face this Rays lineup. 2-6 on the year with a 6.55 ERA. Moved to the bullpen just before the calendar turned to the month of September, BA.
Well, look at the numbers. I mean, in 77 innings, just 46 strikeouts, 31 walks, and an opponent's average of 342. Well, I guess you have one of those seasons where it has all gone wrong. Least you can do is try to finish strong.
First battery faces from the top of the order. It's Malik Smith, who's been on all 3 times, 2 for 2 with a walk. Malik's hitting a robust .355 this year against left-handed pitching. It's 1-1. Alex gets his third hit of the night, and the Rays bust things open. They're already leading it 3-0. The G-Man Choi RBI single in the first, followed by a Choi home run in the sixth, and the Rays have added another one on. Here's a nice bunt, and Kiermaier trying to come home, and a nice play by Kiner Falefa gets Kiermaier.
Leave it to the converted infielder to be able to make that play. Very rarely do you ever see that first and third bunt play thwarted, and I've never seen it done in this manner. Bunt just didn't get far enough away. Kiner Falefa grabs it, twists, turns, and then makes the tag on Kiermaier. What a heck of a play.
And it was a pretty good bunt. Could have gone maybe a couple of feet onto the grass instead of in front of the dirt, but you rarely see a play called too unassisted.
No, that's absolutely right.
Well, Crone, who reached first on an intentional walk, moves over to second base, so there's still a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Malik Smith now stands on first, reached on that fielder's choice bunt. And Tommy Pham, who was 1 for 3 on the night, facing the lefty Perez. The 0-1, and this one's driven into the gap. Robinson reaches out and makes the grab. Another hard hit ball by Tommy Pham, but that'll do it for the top of the 7th with the Rays up 3-zip. Let's go to the studio and our Ram game break. Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. Time for the bottom of the 7th. And Adam Kolarek is on in relief of Tyler Glasnow, who pitched 6 dynamite innings.
Well, we wanted to see the follow-up, after that start against the Indians. Could he put 2 back-to-back? And he absolutely has done that. Really put a stranglehold on this Ranger offense, holding them to 2 hits. Nothing on the board as far as runs go, and he's going to turn it over to his bullpen. Adam Kolarek, as the season has gone on, and really you can trace it back to that game that he came into New York. The bases loaded, nobody out, and got out of that. Since then, I'll tell you, the amount of quality higher leverage work that he is getting has gone up dramatically.
There's a great first pitch to open the bottom of the 7th to Willie Calhoun. Calhoun 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. Calhoun swings and got a piece of it, but it's going to be 0-2. We saw Kolarek yesterday at Tropicana Field against Oakland. He allowed a pair of hits, but no runs in the 8th inning. erasing a leadoff walk with a key double play and pitched around a 2-out double. That ball outside. It's going to be 1-2 to Calhoun. Well, for the first time in his 9 starts, Tyler Glasnow has a little bit of run support to work with. Staring at his first victory as a Rays starter, and that's a strikeout, the first batter faced by Adam Kolarek.
He comes with the breaking ball, so tough to stay on this pitch. And you could see how far out in front, the swing gets awkward, everything's out of sync.
That brings up the big first baseman, rookie Ronald Guzman. He's 0 for 2 with 2 lineouts. Swings at the first pitch, and it's strike 1. Guzman was robbed in the 5th inning on that beautiful leaping grab in front of the wall in center by Kevin Kiermaier. Kolarik's 0-1. Just outside. That was close. Well, Guzman, whatever happens the rest of the way in his rookie campaign, has something he'll remember forever. A 3-home-run game at Yankee Stadium. The first ever to accomplish that feat at the new Yankee Stadium. It's something you'll talk about for the rest of your career and the rest of your life.
For sure, for sure. Against an iconic franchise like that in their house, hitting those 3 homers off guys wearing the pinstripes.
And this one grounded weakly to center and fielded by Adames. Just in front of second base. Scored 6-3, and there's 2 up, 2 down for Adam Kolarek. Now Isaiah Kiner-Falefa steps in. He's 1 for 2 on the night. He's singled in the bottom of the 5th. One of only 2 hits surrendered by Tyler Glasnow. Rays lead it 3-zip. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, looking for win number 83 on the year. Kevin Cash perusing what he has left in the bullpen, on the bench. We'd love to add a couple of insurance runs here for sure. Give him an opportunity to rest his bullpen that much more. And you have to assume they're going to get rest tomorrow night, too, with Blake Snell on the bump.
You would certainly hope so. You would certainly hope so. That has been the formula all season long. Blake Snell pitching effectively, pitching deep into the game. And then, you know, once you follow that up, you're going to go back to the opener. You're going to have your bulk guys. Kevin Cash is going to piece it together. He's been very aggressive in doing that, depending on matchups, because all of these games matter, and you've got to treat every single game that the Rays play from here on out. It's 14 straight. They've all got to be played like a playoff game.
The 1-2 pitch grounded to second. Lau fields. And there's 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 8th. The Rays coming to bat with Ji-Man Choi leading it off.
built for baseball. How about the night of Ji-Man Choi? He takes this ball into right field. The Rays off to an early, quick start, an early lead. Then it would dry up, and then Ji-Man comes through again. Works a nice at-bat right there off of Chapman, and is able to deposit that ball into center field. Actually, that would be the hit, the at-bat that would end Chapman's night. The Rays have added another, and we got 3 runs. Looking for a little bit more.
2 of the 3 runs driven in by Ji-Man Choi. First time facing Perez. Choi has struggled against left-handed pitchers, 3 for 19 this season. And the count is even at 1-1. Speaking of left-handed pitchers, there's big Jose Alvarado warming up in the bullpen. And he has been dynamite as of late for Kevin Cash late in games. Choi looks at 96 to even the count at 2-2.
I think this is what really boggles you about Martin Perez. When you look at his numbers and then you look at his stuff. You know, easy 95, 96 from the left side, breaking ball. You know, he's got some different options as far as secondary pitches go. And for whatever reason, just cannot put it together. A lot of walks, a lot of hits, a lot of base runners. You know, that opponent average, 342. That should never happen with the stuff that he has. Not even close. You're 95, 96 with an 88-mile-an-hour slider. And teams are hitting 342 off of you?
Rays actually faced Perez in game 1 of the 3-game series they played at Tropicana Field on April 16th as he gets Choi swinging for the first out of the inning. He went up against Blake Snell. Snell got his 2nd win of the season in that game, but the Rays put up 8 runs in an 8-4 win. They took 2 of 3 from Texas back then. Now Joey Wendell steps up. He's reached all 3 times tonight. First on a fielder's choice. He doubled in the 4th, and he walked in the 6th. And he shows bunt. And third base umpire Corey Blazer says he didn't go. It would be a 1-0 to Wendell, batting in the cleanup spot tonight. And Perez hustles over. Pitcher fields his position. And it goes down as 3-1 in the scorebook. 2 up, 2 down for the Rays in the top of the 8th. So that brings up the 3rd straight left-handed batter facing the lefty Martin Perez. It's Brandon Lau, who's 0 for 3 on the night, struck out his last time up to end the 6th inning. And he swings at the first pitch and pops it up into the infield. Odor is under it. 3 up, 3 down go the Rays. And it's going to be the Rangers coming up for their bottom of the 8th. 1 inning, a scoreless ball, and that brings on another left-hander, this time the big boy, Jose Alvarado.
Well, on for the 67th time, 72 punch-outs and 60 in the third. He's got the high-powered fastball, a couple different versions of the breaking ball, and he has done a really nice job here for Kevin Cash as the season has gone on of really pounding the zone, earning the trust of Kevin Cash to be a guy who, was your primary setup guy for a long time. He's been getting some opportunities to close out some games now. So look at how easy Kevin Cash is with Alvarado on the mound.
Yeah.
Telling jokes with Vinny.
Yeah. Life's good when you're 16 games over 500. Pinch hitter now to start off the 8th for the Texas Rangers, Delino DeShields. And he looks at ball 1 from Alvarado. DeShields was activated from the disabled list on September 1st. He's 6 for 22 in the 11 games since. And of course, as that name sounds familiar to all you baseball fans out there, his dad played 13 years in the big leagues. That ball called, strike 2, 1-2 from Alvarado to DeShields. Jose Alvarado has been close to unhittable. His last 14 appearances dating back to August 16th have been scoreless. Pitched to a 1.09 ERA over his last 39 appearances. That goes all the way back to June 12th.
That's incredible number. Talk about that period of time, and the majority of the time he's getting the high leverage innings, facing accomplished pinch hitters, having to get big outs at the end of games.
Here's the 2-2. Swung on and foul. Count remains 2-2. Tampa Bay leads it 3-0. 12 shutouts this year for Rays pitching. What a great way to start off the final road trip of the season if they could pull it off here. And that one's taken at the top of the zone, 98 miles an hour for ball 3. The top of the order awaits for Jose Alvarado. Here's the 3-2. Got him, strike 3 looking. Big punch out for Jose Alvarado.
Where DeShields had put up a nice at-bat on him and then gets locked up with a fastball that's right there. Just could not pull the trigger.
The Rays have a few guys with arms like Alvarado. Castillo can throw high 90s. Stanek, high 90s. We saw Glass now, obviously. I don't know if any of them make it look as easy as Jose Alvarado does. Look at that, 98, like he's playing catch.
Got a fast arm and a high release point too. Comes over the top.
There's another strike. Quickly ahead to Shin-Soo Choo, 0-2. Choo 0 for 2 tonight with a walk in the 6th inning. Watched his fellow countryman Ji-Man Choi go deep. Choo's got 21 dingers this year. Outside at 99. shift is on for Shin-Soo Choo. And that shows you what the Rays defense thinks about Jose Alvarado being on the mound. It's a lefty-lefty matchup, but nobody gets opposite field hits like Shin-Soo Choo gets opposite field hits. He's third in the big leagues in that department. And yet, you see Joey Wendell basically playing shortstop, and you have 2 second basemen with Adames and Lau. Choo up the middle. Adames fields, fires, and they got him.
He tried to push one up the middle, the shortstop side of the bag, and watch Adames go get it. Nice sliding grab and get up and make the throw. That was a really, really nice play by Willy Adames.
How about the swinging stab by Jose Alvarado trying to field this position?
If you come up with it,
it's going to be on a lot of highlight reels.
That's it, on a loop.
He'll take the result, a ground out 6-3. So 2 up, 2 down for Rougned Odor. Hit by a pitch in the first inning, grounded out and lined out. And a strike in the bottom right-hand corner. This ball popped up. And it's going to be 0-2 to Rougned Odor. Bottom of the 8th, 2 outs, nobody on. A terrific 6 innings by Tyler Glasnow. Adam Kolarek came in the 7th. Shutdown inning. Jose Alvarado trying to do the same. And a called strike 3. Another dynamite effort from Jose Alvarado. Make it 15 straight scoreless appearances for big number 46. And yeah, you can smile, big boy. The Rays are up 3-zip as we go to the 9th.
Great moments, 8th inning, Jose Alvarado, an instant classic already. Locking up DeShields right there with the fastball, getting some help from his defense. Willy Adames, a nice play out there beyond second base. And then how about this, 98 on the edge, see you later. And you're right, enjoy it because he has been on some kind of run for Kevin Cash coming out of that bullpen.
So defensive substitution, Delino DeShields, who came on as a pinch hitter, now takes Drew Robinson's place in center field.
How about that? 12 innings, 1 hit, 22 punch-outs.
He had that little bit of lull toward the middle of the season, but ever since then, And we talked about it, June 12th, that's a long time ago. About a 1 ERA. And Sergio Romo is just starting to get warmed up in the bullpen. So it looks like he might come out for the 9th inning with a 3-0 lead. Willy Adames leading things off in the top of the 9th. There's Serge. Gave up that grand slam to Chris Davis in the 9th in the Game 3 Sunday game against the Oakland A's, but got the final out. And there's a base hit by Adames. Willy Adames continues his hot hitting. So the Rays once again put the leadoff runner on.
Just hammers that ball. Nice attempt there by Odor to get to it.
Now Kevin Kiermaier up. He doubled his last time up, 1 for 3 on the night. Kiermaier came in hitting .425 in his last 10 games. Look up at the scoreboard, and it's not an offensive explosion by any means, but the Rays do have 8 hits beside the 3 runs they've scored. I feel like double-digit hits have been the regular expectation for this Rays offense. Kiermaier swings and misses, goes down swinging.
I think that you are shocked when they don't get to 10. You know, with as many guys in the lineup that are swinging the bat well, that there is just, it's a very thick lineup. There are no gaps. 1 through 9 can give you trouble, and a lot of them, you know, are swinging well now. I mean, so you are really shocked when this offense doesn't put up double-digit hits, doesn't put a lot of runs on the board. I think that's why these guys are so confident here the last couple of weeks to be able to put together something special.
And on some level, I'm sure you would give some of the credit to hitting coach Chad Mottola. It's not like he's going out there and doing this for them, but at the same time, they have hitters meetings before the start of every series. The game planning has to be as on point as the hitting's been.
Yep, and then the work that goes into it, the work behind the scenes, the work in the cages that Mottola's there for each and every day, and getting help too. You know, you think all the guys that chip in, but getting these guys to buy in on an approach at the plate, getting them disciplined enough to not abandon that approach if they fall behind.
Here's Chad Mottola next to Malik Smith. Watching Jake Bowers. And Bowers goes down swinging for the second strikeout of the inning for Perez. So 2 out with Adames on first. And now Jesus Sucre will come up for his first at bat of the game. He took over for Nick Schufo last inning, doing the catching duties. .95 inside for ball 1 to Jesus Sucre. It'll be Andrus, Mazzara, and Beltre, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Texas Rangers in the bottom of the 9th, as the Rays are going to try and salt away their 83rd victory of the year and what would be their 13th shutout of the season. Sucre's had a quiet year at the plate, but what a great job he's done with these young catchers that the Rays have brought up. Nick Schufo being one, Mikey Perez obviously being the other. He's been a great sounding board for those two. Here's the 1-2 to Sucre. Grounded to third. Beltre fields over to second. And we're going to go to the bottom of the ninth. Andrews, Mazzara, Beltre due up, and Sergio Romo will try to close it out. The Rays looking to close out another victory. It would be their 83rd of the season. It's been a dominating pitching performance yet again. Tyler Glasnow going 6. Caleric, Alvarado, and now Sergio Romo on in the ninth to try to close things out. The Rays with a 3-0 lead. And so far, it's been only 2 hits allowed to this Texas Rangers offense.
Well, Sergio Romo looking for save number 22, and he will go down the heart of the Texas Ranger lineup if he is to get it.
Elvis Andrus leads things off 0 for 3 on the night. He looks at ball 1, hitting .256 on the year, 6 homers, 31 RBIs. Coming off a season last year where he popped 20 home runs. Heading the count early, 2-0. And now he's behind in the count, 3-0. We go back 24 hours and Sergio Romo made everybody's pulse quicken just a little bit. The Rays had a big lead that shrunk to a 1-run lead after he gave up that grand slam to Chris Davis. That one's in there for a strike. The 3-1 taken for strike 2. So Romo battles back to a full count.
Slider after slider after slider. One more.
Chad Mottola on the left, Kevin Cash on the right, looking on. And he got him. 3 straight pitches, 3 straight strikes. And Sergio Romo has the first out of the bottom of the 9th.
Boy, how much confidence does Sergio Romo have in that slider? To miss 3 straight and then to come back outer half, and then right to the outer third, right on the edge, and get the swing and a miss. He's just like, I could throw that up there 4 or 5 more times. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about it.
You got to have supreme confidence, or at least portray that you have that confidence, and Sergio Romo certainly does. Now the left-handed hitting. Nomar Mazara steps in. Mazara singled in his last at-bat, but it was that weak chop in front of the mound that Tyler Glasnow couldn't field. Originally called it an error, but changed it to a hit, so he's 1 for 2 on the night with a walk. That ball low. It's 1-1. Well, we talked so much about this Rays offense and how hot it's been, especially this month. 277 team batting average. The team ERA has been 3.21 in that time.
I mean, think about it. You put it all together at the right time. The average, the on base, through the roof.
Scoring 5.5 runs a game.
Giving up 3 and some change and playing great defense. That's how you win 20 out of 25.
That ball drilled foul. And the count goes to 2-2.
Got a quiet night here for Carlos Gomez.
Yeah. Making his return to Arlington. Very popular figure here in his 6 years with the Rangers.
Well, he was just telling Nomar Mazara to play, by the way, you're done.
You're done.
You are officially done. 2 strikes, see ya.
I wonder if Gogo's going to get an at-bat or 2 in this series. It's a .299 career hitter in Texas. Score that 4-3. There's 2 up and 2 down for the Rangers. And the Rays are now 1 out away from doing what no other team in Major League Baseball has been able to do this year. That's shut out the Texas Rangers at Globe Life Park. And the numbers certainly favor Tampa Bay. Rays are 68-3 when leading after 8. The Rangers are 3-74 when trailing after 8 innings. And now, wouldn't you know it, Adrian Beltre, the last gasp for the Texas Rangers. 0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout. Here's the 1-0. Swings through, middle of the plate, strike 2. Strike 1 make that, 1-1. The big talk around the Rangers organization and really everyone who's a sports fan in this area. Will this be Adrian Beltre's final homestand as a Texas Ranger? That ball way outside, ball 2. He hasn't indicated anything that he's going to retire. He's keeping everybody at bay, said he and his wife Sandra will discuss it in the offseason. Hasn't committed to coming back. The Rangers have said if he wants to, we will welcome him back to the club. One of the great ambassadors of the game. Plays it hard and has a ton of fun in the process.
He really does. Openly enjoying what he does, and now in his 21st season, which is just incredible.
Last 8 of those years been spent here with the Texas Rangers. And that one is drilled toward the foul pole, and it is a foul ball indeed.
I mean, this is a guy, he was playing Major League Baseball in the 90s. The 90s. Come on.
That helps me out a little bit, because hanging around all these young Rays rookies, you feel like an old man, but Beltre kind of evens things out for you. The 3-2. And he held off and walked.
And let's look at those two jawing back and forth. That That just goes to show you, Sergio Romo, same kind of personality, and he's able to lay off of that slider off the plate. Sergio is not real happy, those two having words.
Look at the two of them. Similar personalities in how they approach the game. And you know, if this is the final homestand, it's only fitting Seattle's coming to town after the Rays leave. And maybe Felix Hernandez, that ball's going to be foul as well. Maybe Felix Hernandez gets to duel with Adrian Beltre one more time. Willie Calhoun steps in with Beltre on first. Beltre, the active all-time hits leader, second active all-time in home runs behind only Albert Pujols. And you go from the 20-plus year veteran Adrian Beltre to the rookie Willie Calhoun, who's 0 for 3 tonight. The 0-2, and he looks at ball one. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Texas with their last licks. Rays looking to make it 12 of their last 15 games. And there it is. Strike 3 ends it. And Sergio Romo picks up the save again. A 3-0 shutout, the 13th shutout of the season for Rays pitching. And once again, the Rays, with Oakland having the night off, inch that much closer to that second wild card spot. They are now 6.5 games back, 6 back in the loss column.
Well, here's our Coors refreshing finish. And it's going to be the final pitch of the game. And it's the changeup. That changeup, he leaves it middle. That stays in the zone. It bottoms out. Rays walk home victors.
Your final score from Globe Life Park in Arlington. The Rays shut out the Rangers in game 1 of this 3-game series. 3-0 is your final score. And Tyler Glasnow gets his first victory as a member of this Rays pitching staff. For Brian Anderson and Michelle Margot, I'm Rich Hollenberg. Thanks for tuning in to Rays Baseball. Stay tuned for Rays Live, the postgame next.